Welcome everyone to the video. Uh, I'm the Town Nerd, and today we're going to be starting a new series going on LeetCode. So I just made a new account, and what we're going to do is it pulls up this first just like challenges for new users. Let's go through, we'll do each of these, and then we may go over to just their full list of problems, sort from easiest to hardest, and just work our way down the list. But for now, I thought it'd be a good idea to start with this list they created. Um, so we'll just work our way through this one. A little bit of background about myself. I am a new software engineer. I've been in a professional position for about a year almost. Graduated college about a year ago with my degree in computer science. So I'm still very kind of new to this professional world. Um, most of my experience is in Java, but in my professional career, I've been using Kotlin. Um, I'll probably try and use Kotlin throughout these challenges. If you want me to use Java or maybe even JavaScript, let me know and we can try out a couple challenges like that. I'm not going to promise that I'm going to know these answers to these questions right out or that these will be short, easy tutorials. This is just me going through the problems myself, trying to figure them out. So you can get an idea of kind of how I problem solve and maybe it can help you and how you problem solve because that's what it's all about really. It's not about knowing every algorithm or knowing how to navigate through every data structure. What's really going to get you through is just being good at problem solving, even if it takes you a while and there's a lot of bumps. Has how you think about it, how you process these problems, and figure out a potential solution. Maybe not even the best solution. We'll see. Um, so let's get started. If you enjoy this series or have any other ideas or anything you want to see, let me know, and I'll see you if I can get to it. Um, but let's get started. We'll just pick the first one out of this list, Roman to integer. So I already have Kotlin selected. So here, Roman numerals are, there's 7 different symbols if you don't know. I, V, X, L, C, D, and M. These represent different values. I is 1, V is 5, X is 10, L is 50, C is 100, D is 500, M is 1000. So the way Roman numerals is written is largest to smallest. However, there's some caveats to where a smaller number could be in front of a larger number. If that's the case, then you subtract the smaller number from the larger number. So let's read through this. For example, 2 is written as 2 of i's, 2 ones, values, and then 12 is written as xii, 10 plus 2 i's is 12. 27 is xxvii, so 10, 10, 5, 1, 1. Roman numerals, as it says here, is written largest to smallest, left to right, but 4 is 1, or not 1, IV, so 1 minus 5. So if you're like one of these, if you're one symbol away from the next one, then that's when you would have it rewritten. So in the case of 40, it's XL. I think that's right. Um, CM, C is 100 and M is 1000, so you subtract that C from M, subtract 100 from 1000 is 900. XC is 90, X is 10, C is 100, you get 90. I is 1, V is 5, you get 4. So this is how we get 1994 here from M, CM, XC, C, or M, CM, XC, IV. So from just looking at this, what we want to do is probably get all the values these correspond to in a list that is the same size. We just have, instead of the symbol, the value. And then we can do a for each into it. And then if this number is greater than the next one, add it to the total. If this number is less than the next one, then what we want to do is take the total, or take this number, subtract the first one, add it to the total, and so on and so forth until we make it to the end of the string. So to do that, we'll come over here. Let's have an array of the possible inputs, then an array of what those inputs represent numerically, and then we'll have an empty list, which is our probably two empty lists, one being what the string is as numbers, and then one being our total. And we may just reuse the original string that is input here. Well, no, we can't. It's just that's never mind. It's a string, not an array. So what we'll do here is val. If you don't know Kotlin, it's based on the Java virtual machine it runs on, but it has its own compiler, its own syntax. It's very similar to Java. Has a lot of nice features though. So I may explain a couple things for those who don't know Kotlin. So for Kotlin, you have two types of variables. You have a val and a var. It's kind of similar to JavaScript where you have a constant, or just like let, I think is what it is now. Um, Let being just a variable that changes, constant being constant. Here you have val, which is a constant, and var, which is a variable, and can change. So let's have val, and let's have Roman, we'll just call it Roman, equal to, and then we have, just get all of them, I, V, X, L, I just want single quotes, these are characters. Nope. X, L, C, D, M. And then val, Roman values, that'd be another array, and this be 1, 5. Actually, I'm going to do array of here, same here, array of, should be just one of the ways you can instantiate an array in Kotlin. The array of 1, 5, 10, 50, 100, 500, 1,000. Right. So now that we have that, then what we're going to want to do is we want a val string values equal array of, for now let's just do instantiate it all with zeros. Or no, we don't know. Are we let's see here. Yeah, we're returning the number here, so we can returning a type of int. So let's do this. Let's do a list of int. And this is just creating an empty list. So what we'll do here, and then we'll have var total equals 0. Make this a variable. And then let's do a string dot for each. It's a string. I don't know if you can for each on it for each character, even though it is an array of characters. I don't in Kotlin it's not tactily that way. You can do string dot size, I believe, for I n 0 s dot size -1, maybe. Actually, let's see if that gives us an error. I may have the syntax wrong. Yeah, unresolved reference size, maybe length then. Okay, so that works, and we want to return total here. So we're going through each letter in the string they gave us, and then I don't think, let's see here, it's either 1 to 15 length, and it only contains those characters. So I think what we can do is let's change this to just a list, and then in this loop we can do string values dot add, then Roman values at s dot char at I. I think that's how you get Kotlin char at. So just the index. Okay. So in that case, we actually should be able to just do s dot for each, and then char is giving the current item a name. Otherwise, it's just referred to as it. But for for readability purposes here, we'll do char. Uh, so string values dot add Roman values dot index of, I think it's index of no, we just want Roman values at Roman dot index of char. Let me look at this, make sure I'm using that index of correctly. Char array dot index of char. So that should be fine. And I actually don't use the regular console logger in Kotlin. So let me look up the syntax for that. Got rid of Kotlin there. Yeah, it's just print line. Yeah, print ln. Okay. So let's do here print ln string values, just to see what that's printing. Unresolved add, right, it needs to be a mutable list. We should be able to use add. There's multiple kinds of lists in Kotlin. You have list of, you have mutable list of. Added 111, which is right. Okay, so this is adding into our string values correctly. And then what we want to do is, let's get a string values for each, and then if it's greater than we have all the values. It's the one, if current value is greater than the next value, we just greater than or equal to, we want to just add it. If it is less than the next value, we subtract it from the next value and add it to the total. Now, in that case, we want to move the index forward again, like additionally. So let's look at Kotlin for loop. I don't want to go through, we may want to skip and end this index. But not every time. May need a while loop. Let's try while, get a index var equal to 0, while index is less than string values dot size, and then we want to if string values at index less greater than string values index plus 1. It can be greater than or equal to. We want total plus equals string values at index. Then another case is string values index is, and I think we want this to be else if we only want to do one or the other, then here we can do index plus plus. It's less than string values index plus 1. Now we want to be careful here and do minus 1. Then if index equal to string values dot size minus 1. Total plus string values index. If that's the last, if we're in the last one, add it. But not in this case. We'll get to it. Let's worry about this first. If current value is less than the next value, then we want to do total plus equals string values at index plus 1 minus string values index. And then we want to skip. We want to go forward 2 indices. Index plus equals 2. I'm going to add 2. And that means, right. Let's run it against some test cases and see. We might have some index out of bounds. Actually, no, it worked in this case. I think we're okay. Because this is where this last 2 is a set you want to subtract from. And that would be when your index is at I. And so then you don't want to check this V. You've already counted it, so you want to skip forward. Then you're out of bounds. And which means we're not going to get the last one. We're only going to enter this if it's like here, like in this scenario. So we hit every one of them. We hit every one of them up to this last one in this while loop, and then where index is at the last one, we add it. I think we're done. Let's submit. We may run into an issue. Nope, accepted. Okay, great. So faster than 37.70% of Kotlin online submissions, less than 22.4. All right, great. That was a successful first try for our first problem. It's definitely not going to all be that easy and that quick. Some episodes may be multiple parts, but just we'll roll with it. I don't have this premium. Maybe I might get it, and we can look through some other potential solutions. Another thing you can do is sometimes, um, since we got a success here, I'm not going to look at it. But you can go into this discuss, and people will put solutions in the comments, so you don't have to pay to see a solution. I'm not telling you to do that. Definitely try these problems out for yourself. But there's nothing wrong in not knowing how to do one of these problems. Um, if you need help, look it up. I mean, professionals do it all the time. You're not going to know everything all the time. There's so many different frameworks, languages, and problems vary widely in how complex they are based on different needs. Um, so, I mean, even I use Kotlin on a daily, but I don't use regular for loops like this. I use the for each. But in instances, so I looked up the syntax for that. There's nothing wrong there. It doesn't make me a bad programmer for forgetting something and having to look it up. Contrary to what school tells you, don't cheat, don't use Google. It's not cheating. It's not a test. It's just a challenge to see if you can figure it out and solve a problem. If you like the video, please leave a like and let me know. Um, leave some comments down in the comment sections. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you didn't like. Um, tell me if you want me to go in more in depth than any explanations, or if there's any other type of tutorial or content you want to see. Other than that, as long as everything is going good with this video, then I'll keep making them. We'll go on to the next challenge, and we'll go from there. And with an end goal in mind of maybe we eventually complete all of these LeetCode challenges that we can find. But thank you for watching. As always, this is the Town Nerd. We'll see you next time.